student t-test for two set of samples that are dependent or paired or related in Excel. The paired t-test is a parametric test that can be used when there are two samples or two sets of data, and these two samples are paired. There are certain assumptions that have to be fulfilled before using the statistical test. The first assumption is that the data in each sample is continuous and the data in each samples is normally distributed, and the difference between the pairs is approximately normally distributed between the two samples, and finally there is no outliers in the difference between the paired samples. Here in Excel sheet I had inserted a data for 50 participants, and the objective of this study is to investigate the effects of a novel drug in lowering systolic blood pressure. So 50 participants were recruited to this study, and their systolic blood pressure were measured before administering the drug, i.e. in untreated variables. So the untreated variables has the systolic blood pressure before treatment for each participant, and the same participant then given the drug, and then the systolic blood pressure was measured. So this data here are paired data or paired samples, as the same participant participate in both measurement, pre-treatment and post-treatment. To find out whether there is a difference between pre-treated and post-treated, and whether the drug can lower the systolic blood pressure, then here we will use only paired t-test, as the data here or the two groups or the two variables are paired, and the assumptions for performing the test have already been checked. To do the test, click here on the data and then click on the data analysis. If the icon is not shown here, then install the icon for data analysis. The way to do that is to click on file and then click on more, click on options, and then click on add or add-ins, and then on the manage section click on Excel add-ins, and then select this analysis tool pack and click on OK, and an icon will appear here. If you click on the icon here, a new window will appear, and several options are available for statistical tests. Scroll down to the option for t-test paired two samples for mean. If you click on OK, a new window will appear here, and it shows that the test is a paired t-test, and we need to input the data. For the variable 1, select the scores for the untreated, and for variable 2, select the scores for the treated, and for the hypothesized mean difference, set it as 0, as here the null hypothesis states that the difference between the mean for the pre to the post is 0 or there is no difference in the mean. On the alternative hypothesis states that there is a difference between the mean for the two set of data. And then select the output option on output range by inserting the output of the analysis in that area here, and then click on OK. A table is generated as shown here. In the table it shows that the mean for the first variable is 154.2 and for variable 2 it is 146.1. So from this initial observation, the mean for taking the drug is lower than the mean for the group or the participant that have not taken the drug. So the drug has lowered the systolic blood pressure. A variance is also given for both variables, and what is important in this table is the T statistical value, which is 3.7, and p-value is given for one tail and two tails, and in our condition we will stick to the two tail as we are looking at the differences between the two set of data. And as shown here, the p-value is less than 0.05. So this means that the drug is effective in lowering the systolic blood pressure, and the systolic blood pressure for those who have taken the drug have a mean of lower than the mean for the systolic blood pressure for those who have not taken the drug. And these observations are statistically significant as the p-value is less than 0.05. So this is the way to perform paired t-test in Excel.